Welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program that talks about the services that Monmouth County has to offer. I'm Commissioner Director Tom Arnone, and I'm here in the great town of Belmar, and we couldn't have it any better to be in this beautiful day, Monmouth County, great town of Belmar, and more importantly, joined by the mayor here, Mark Walsifer. How you doing, Mayor?
Thanks for having me, Commissioner.
This is great. So this is the first time we've ever done something like on the beach here, and we've had a few segments. Obviously, most importantly, to have one with you to talk about the great year you're having. Obviously, I'm from this area, so I do frequent it along with you, and I see you out here constantly. So talk about a little bit about the tourism situation here in Belmar and how you keep these beaches so clean.
Well, I got to give all the credit to our DPW for keeping them clean. You know, we have one of our big problems, especially on a really busy weekend when we'll have 20,000 people on the beach, is the amount of trash and recyclables and everything that we have. So we have our crews out all day long picking up. We make sure that at night everything is all cleaned up, and then our beach rakes start real early in the morning to make sure the beach is ready for the next day, because the very next day we could have another 20,000 people.
Exactly. So you know what's unique about it, and as a mayor, you know, and I was a mayor, but I didn't have this situation that you have to deal with is, you know, come November, October, you know, I don't know what the population is, what, 5,000, 10,000, I don't even know.
Yeah, we're about 6,000. Yeah.
6,000 people here. But what's the population in June and July?
Probably about 60,000.
Exactly. So it's hard to operate. You operate like you're the mayor of two different towns.
Right.
There, which is, you know, it's amazing there. But you know, it's all good. It's a beautiful sunny day here. So you have all these people come down here. Obviously, first and foremost, to go to the beach and that beautiful view that we have here. But it does rain once in a while.
Right.
And so, like, how does that work? How do the businesses handle all that heavy population? How does Belmar handle it in general?
Yeah, well, we hope that they go down to our main street and frequent all of our shops and our restaurants. For the kids, we have the Retro Arcade. Our fishing fleet goes rain or shine. So, and then, you know, of course, we have the train that's 6 blocks away. So a lot of people will jump on the train and go visit other areas. But we hope that we don't have much rain.
Yes, and well, knock on wood. You know, we've had a good year, but I'll tell you, the staffing of it. Obviously, you have directors in each, whether it's the beach department, whether it's the lifeguards, whether obviously your chief of police has an added responsibility with all the specials. How do they handle that and coordinate all that?
Well, it's all year long. We're already working on next summer with the different changes that we have to make, because we're into it now. So we want to talk to all our department heads, find out all their needs going, what they're lacking this year, what they need for next year. So that's already in the works for next year. So wow. It's a year-long process, because, you know, when you have that kind of influx of people, and, you know, even with our specials, the class 1 specials and the class 2 specials, you know, you're recruiting starting now for next year. You're looking at who's going to be going into colleges, who's interested in criminal justice, and our lifeguard staff does the same thing with the colleges on who's the swim team and recruiting people, because as you know, right now it's difficult to get summer help.
It is
really, and we're still short-handed, but, you know, we're handling everything.
So, you know, talking about that, I know you have lifeguards here that have been here for years here, and it's amazing. They love their job,
right.
And it's great to have that experience there for the young ones to come. But that also works with your specials there, and so, but there's a cost factor that comes with that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know that you rely on the revenue that comes from the beaches to offset your added expenses there. And, you know, what people don't realize, and I think you have really, really made that an important focus, is you have the beaches, the revenue.
Correct.
You make sure you have the great services. And then at the end of the day, if you balance it out, which you do very well, okay, the businesses benefit. And I know that you work very closely with the businesses here.
Yes, because, you know, a good business community really makes up the heart of your town. So you have to make sure that, you know, it's a long 8 months during the winter, and we try to help the businesses in every way we can to make sure that they survive for the winter, and so they really flourish during the summer.
So, you know, listen, we're all here from this is a tourist town in the summer. and not everybody obeys the rules and the regs. That must be difficult, but you keep a tight ship here, and I commend you for that.
Yeah, our chief of police does a great job. You know, our director of DPW, they all do a great job. Lifeguards, I can't talk enough about them because, you know, the rescues that they have to do down here. And that's a lot of the problem that we have is, you know, all these people that come down to the ocean and are not used to swimming in the ocean, they do a lot of rescues. You can't believe the amount that they
I
do.
could imagine.
And they keep everybody safe. So
And it's a difficult job.
it is. It is.
You know, everybody thinks they're strong, but that water's stronger than everybody.
Oh yeah,
And,
you're getting caught in a rip, and
bad.
yeah, you got to be a good swimmer.
So I guess in closing, I know you have the marina
Yes.
there, and I know you take a lot of effort in making sure that's very vibrant, and you've done a phenomenal job there. How has that been successful?
Yeah, when we came in to office in 2019, we only had 70% of the slips filled for the summer, and we did a big marketing campaign. I hired a director of our marketing and really marketed our marina, and I'm glad to say that this year we have a waiting list.
That is fabulous. And so, just I guess in closing, what annual events to close it out? I know there's one that's very special to me. There, I hope you don't forget about it. And is that you have here in Belmar that close out because the tourism season does stretch out a little bit into October, September, and October there. So
yeah, and that's the San Gennaro event.
San Gennaro Fest.
Of
I love
course you
that
love
one.
that. But we start out we start out with the St. Patty's Day Parade, and then we roll into Dine and Discover a couple weeks later, and then we come into the Seafood Festival, and all these things that we do. Like today, we have the Sandcastle contest going on down at the other end of town. And it's all to enhance our business community, to make sure that, you know, we bring in the people that to help them survive. So,
and that's what people have to realize here. Really, most important that you're working for many different segments here. Obviously, you want Belmar to look as beautiful, which it is. You want to make sure people enjoy themselves, they're safe, but you're also working for the businesses because the more success everything here has, the more success everything out there has. And and you've done. I have to tell you, you've done a fabulous job. I know it's not easy. So, Mayor, I want to thank you. You do a great job here. I know it's tough. And you have to look at, and I know that many people think they could be Monday day quarterbacks here, but you stick to your convictions and you make Belmar a great place for Monmouth County. So good luck with the rest of the summer. Please, I'm sure we'll be running into each other daily. And for any more information, please visit monmouth.com.
And I want to thank you, and I want to thank all the commissioners for all the help you give us throughout the year, and enjoy the rest of the summer.
Thank you. We'll always be there for you. Thank you.